I think today might be a really important show for us because, doing what we do, we like to have a lot of fun. We like to talk to people. We like to engage. We like to get you through your workday or anything like that. But sometimes doing this job, we need to be the voice of the fan. And how many sports radio stations do you hear where that's their motto? We're the voice of the fan. Today, we are going to be together a collective unit because we need to send a message to the Cleveland Browns. We need to send a message to 76 Lou Groza Boulevard that needs to get to the desk of Andrew Berry, of Paul DePodesta, of the Haslams. Because everybody's all wrapped up right now in the fear that Nick Chubb might not play for the Cleveland Browns. And this has just come up on, I read the NFL.com article of AFC cut candidates, and everybody quotes and grabs that screenshot because Nick Chubb is the first damn player on that NFL.com list this morning of cut candidates. And it gets me a little angry. It gets me bothered. And I saw Browns Nation kind of with a little bit of an upheaval. And that is going to be the point of our show today, is to send a respectful message to the Cleveland Browns that we as a fan base do not want Nick Chubb playing anywhere else. I know I don't have to play the salary cap game. I'm not the one that's got to make tough decisions, and my job is not on the line based on which players I draft and cut and keep and all that kind of stuff. But for Andrew Berry, I'm asking you, please, as a Browns fan, do not let Nick Chubb ever play football anywhere else. That's what I'm asking for as a fan. I know there's a lot of fans out there that have the same sentiment as I do. We don't want to see him play anywhere else. And I know you got to crunch numbers, and there's dollars to be accounted for. I'm asking you to eat that just a little bit for what this fan base wants. And we're going to send that message to the Cleveland Browns this morning. I'll explain how. We got college football. We got time up. We got the morning update. We got day 2 of our immaculate grid in hour 2. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have alongside here. Twitter, Facebook. We're up on YouTube, streaming on Twitch at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow anywhere that you can. We very much appreciate that across the social media platforms. We're in a tizzy right now. Browns fans are in a little bit of a tizzy. And I'm not even ripping the Matt Okada, whatever. He's a fantasy guy at NFL.com. He is a fantasy content guy at NFL.com. And he runs through AFC cut candidates. Number 1 on that list was Nick Chubb. And of course he did that because he knew Browns fans would see it, we'd screenshot it, and we'd freak out about it. I'm not freaking out about it. I'm really not. Because I do have a little belief that the Browns are going to handle this the right way. And I've never wavered on how I feel about Nick Chubb. I do not want him to ever play football anywhere else. And you might be saying, Matt, even if he's some 33-year-old running back that can't do it anymore? Yep. He is to that point of joining, since 1999, an really exclusive group of guys that are the best players we've had. They've meant so much to this city. They are fan favorites, and I don't want to see them go anywhere else. That was how I felt about Joe Thomas. We got close with that Denver trade. I felt that about Josh Cribbs. Josh had to go elsewhere. Joe Hayden had to go elsewhere. Myles Garrett, I hope, never has to go anywhere. And I truly believe that Nick Chubb should be on that list. So here's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to call the power of Big Play this morning, because Reflog is in on this, right? We are going to send this poll out, and I want everybody to listen. I want this to be 100% yes. I want this to be yes, because I want to send this to the Browns, because I want them to see how much he means to this town. I want this to be 100. Now, the problem is we already have no's. That's the problem. And I think Reflog is going to retweet this.
He did.
Good. Thank you very much, McNeil, on that. Because I want this, and I want to send this to the Browns. We should have tagged them in that, but that's fine. I want to send this little message to the Cleveland Browns. And this isn't me being, it sounds like I'm demanding things. It sounds like I'm opening the show, yelling at Andrew Berry and yelling at Paul DePodesta. I'm not doing that. I really think they are very good at what they do. And I trust them in their positions to lead my football team. But that's what it comes back to. That's their job. They take ownership of that team. But you and me, this is our football team too. We have been here for a long time, rooting for this team, going through the things that we have gone through. This is something that means a lot to us. I want to win. I want to go win a Super Bowl. And if you really wanted to sit there and crunch numbers on a calculator and say, well, Nick Chubb's contract, that could hinder us from signing another player that could help us go win a Super Bowl. I understand that. And at the very core of it, when you take the human element out of it, that's the issue that we face. That's why this is even a semi-reality of Nick Chubb not playing here anymore. But what we have got to remember, this is our team. This is our team. This is for the fans that pay money to go to that stadium, that watch on TV, that buy the gear. There are players that mean more to us. You got to give us this one. And I know that there might be a day that contract doesn't quite sync up, that you're not getting the production that you've had out of him. I don't care. I don't care. That is a pass that I will give. Now, I'm not their boss. I'm not Jimmy D. Haslam. But I hope even the Haslams understand that he is, number one, a really, really good player. Yes, coming off a major knee injury that we discussed a lot on yesterday's show. If you have the belief and the confidence that he'll be able to come through this and be even a close representation of the player that he was, that he is still going to be productive on the field for you. But when you add in the fan factor and what we as a fan base want, there should be no question on this. There should be no even debate. And there can be hot take artists. I'm not even ripping this guy from NFL.com. I get why he put Nick Chubb on that list. It's not happening. There's no way. Now, beyond that, they do need a restructure. They do need a contract extension. And I'm hoping. I'm asking so respectfully. I'm not yelling. Please get it done. Please. This is what we as a fan base want, okay? He is a player that he's just different. He's different. And you could say the same thing about Denzel, and you could say the same thing about Miles and David Njoku and Bitonio, who's thankfully seems like going to finish his career out here too. I want that fairy tale. I want that. Because at the end of the day, this is still about the fans. This is still about all of us wanting the Browns to be successful and to win. But part of I don't want to say glory, but the part that you love is when you can tell your kids about how many people out there have kids that have Nick Chubb jerseys. How many people are out there that have had the next generation of Browns fans, nieces and nephews, sons, daughters, grandsons, whatever, friends. You out there, we are the stewards of the next generation of Browns fans. These are the players that mean something to us. When I hear my dad tell me about the Browns of the past and tells me about Hanford Dixon, I get to meet Hanford, tells me about Bernie, tells me about the legacy players that are here. That's our next generation. And I want to be able to say that Nick Chubb played here forever. Will Nick Chubb ever go down as the greatest running back to ever play in the NFL? Probably not. That's a high mark. There are a lot of really good backs. But you're talking about maybe a borderline Hall of Famer. I don't know. But in Cleveland, he is a Hall of Famer. In Cleveland, he is that. Even more than just the Ring of Honor, which again is reserved, I think, for just the Hall of Famers, and Joe Thomas is going to go up there. He deserves all of that recognition. But I think to the fans of this town, Nick Chubb is a Cleveland Hall of Famer. and I don't want to see him go anywhere else. I don't want to see him play anywhere else. So I'm asking the Browns, and that is the point of our question this morning. I'm actually shocked that we even got no votes.
Trolls.
I guess.
Sex
Get
bots
the
and
Steelers
trolls.
fans out of here. Get the Steelers fans out of that poll, because that's who that is. All the blocks of clicking my... Did you see Tony Reality's tweet?
Dude,
yesterday?
it's getting ridiculous. I thought Elon fixed the porn problem, but it's just gotten worse.
It's gotten worse on Twitter. But I want to get a lot of votes on this, and I want it, at this point, it's like 90-10. I wanted this to be 99-1. I wanted this to be 100-1. Or not 100-1, it'd be 100-0. I wanted this to blow it out of the water. Because sometimes we do need to step up and tell the organization how I feel. Now, I saw some tweets on this too. Shout out to Ben Axelrod of Awful Announcers. We got to get Ben on. Remind me for next week. We're going to get Ben Axelrod on next week. But Ben he quote retweeted somebody that their point was maybe this stuff is getting floated out for the Browns to gauge how the fans would react. I will tell you the gauge. Hell no. No. Don't cut him. Don't trade him. Extend him and keep him here. Because I'm not saying that the fans, this isn't Madden. I shouldn't be sitting in the war room with Andrew Berry. Although I have it on a couple of late round picks, Andrew, later, that I was a big fan of. But that's anything. We shouldn't be there making decisions for this team. You know, it was a saying when I got into this job, Ryan said, when you start listening to the fans, you join them. When you start listening to the fans, eventually you will join them. And I trust these guys in doing their job. This is different. This is not regimes of the past where I sit there and I say, these guys suck, and I don't think they're good at their jobs. That's not at all the case. I actually feel really, really confident and really good about the future of the Cleveland Browns, in part because of the people they put in place. But this is just one that we need to step up and let the voice be known. We need to step up and let it be known that we don't want Nick Chubb going anywhere, that we need him here. We want him here. And if it comes at a little detriment of the team, and I say little, because let's play the other side out. They sign him forever. He's here. And again, he's 33 years old, and he's our third down back. Maybe making too much. I don't know. I get on paper, and I get as a personnel and roster person in the NFL that you would sit there and they would cringe at that. And they would go, this is just a waste. This is terrible. Well, my smart-ass response is, you waste money on a lot of other guys that have come through here, not always during the Barry regime, but you've wasted money on guys before. That's one that I'm okay wasting money on. And I also believe that Nick Chubb, on the other side of it, would also be extremely understanding to not ask for $15 million a year when he's not worth it. I think it means a lot to him to finish this out. I think it means a lot to a good group of these guys to see this thing through after what some of them have gone through with 1-31 or just that does mean something. So I'm going to assume, and you know what happens when you do that, but I'm going to assume that Nick Chubb is going to be understanding in this and play ball with that. Then I want the Browns to come in and say, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And I'm not asking for a lifetime extension today. But what I am asking for is for the Browns to understand the importance that this is to the fan base. And I know that this is big because when I see people react the way that they did yesterday about it, Ryan, that tells me how invested they are in this and how much it does mean. And granted, some people got more upset than they should have. And I will calm everybody down to say, I don't see that. I don't see it right now. And that's, get him to an extension and maybe I'll talk about it in 3 years. Like I'm just talking about maybe right now. But the message needs to be sent. Now, even a month ago, Andrew Berry spoke on this. So Andrew Berry sat down with the media literally almost a month ago. 1 month ago tomorrow, Andrew Berry sat down. And the question to him was the tough decisions. One of the most difficult is Nick Chubb coming off the injury. They asked where he was at in his recovery. He said, great. and your thoughts on the particular situation. Here is what Andrew Berry said, quote, in terms of Nick moving forward, obviously I understand there's a little bit of the elephant in the room. Nick, I can say for myself, no one in the organization, our family, nobody wants to see that carry in Pittsburgh be the last time he carries the ball for the Cleveland Browns. And obviously there are things that we'll have to work through, but that would not be our intention. We obviously will work to keep him on the team. I believe him. I believe that. And that's what I want. And that's what I need for the Cleveland Browns. I think the message, I think the Browns believe that. What I want to do is just kick the door in Berea with a giant sign that says, don't let Nick Chubb leave. They'll escort me out, and I'll spend the night in jail.
Worth.
My daughter's not sleeping. Maybe I'd get a good night's sleep, but my wife would not be happy about that. What happened to Matt? He's in Berea jail. What happened? He broke into the facility with a sign. Like, you ever seen the movie My Cousin Vinny?
No.
Oh my God, great flick. Our introduction to Marissa Tomei, by the way, in her first major acting role, she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Word to be about Marissa Tomei. Scary world to be in. But there's a scene in the movie where he can't sleep because he's from New York and he's in a country town.
Oh, it's so quiet.
He goes to jail and he gets a good night's sleep because of all the noise and he's like back at home. So that's kind of what I pictured if I kicked the door in Berea. I'd be having a good night's sleep in the Berea County Jail. Berea City Jail. They need to keep Nick Chubb. They need to keep it. And I think this message is going to find its way to Berea. And I believe kind of what I mentioned earlier about Ben with that retweet that he had. They do gauge this kind of stuff. They do want to just kind of dip their toe in the water to see how the reaction is. And I think the reaction that I saw yesterday and the reaction that is continuing to pour in this morning is telling them all they need to know. And again, the poll is at, update, please. It was at 90-10. I don't know who those 10% of people are, but the majority of fans that you would catch and find are going to tell you what they want with Nick Chubb. And I'm going to ask the Browns to do that. And I'm going to ask the Browns to do it. On the whole, I don't think... Are you concerned about it, Ryan? With your shade? Have you shown people the shades yet this morning? Where did you find those?
Upstairs with the judge garb.
Yeah, you handed me.
We have a lot of props. We had a lot of props
Why?
up there for certain bits that we haven't done yet. So you have your gavel and whatnot.
I don't need that.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I would cry, throw up, vomit everywhere.
Well,
I don't know if
why would you be? I want to talk through why you're concerned because I'm trying. I want to kind of talk you off the ledge here.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay,
I
good.
don't think
All right.
they're gonna cut him. They better not.
I hope not. Hope not. All right, Mr. NASCAR. His entire life, I don't know how viable he'd be at 65 years old. Okay, got it. Breaky Browns fan. I want to see Chubb a Brown for life, but I'm resigned to the fact it might not be possible. Spaz on Twitter. I considered voting no because I want it to be longer than that. Life is a limiting number. All right, into the afterlife we go. Jeff, if you voted no, give up your Browns card immediately. That's a good tweet there, Jeff. You're right. That's what I'm saying. I don't know many true Browns fans that would feel this way. And the thing is, in the grand scheme of it, would that actually be something that stopped you from winning a Super Bowl? Would that be something that would stop you from signing Mike Evans or signing T. Higgins? We got to get into that. I got Matt Bowen's top 50 free agents and landing spots. I got a bit of a hot take on that. I really do think this is kind of a small thing. And GMs, they're gold. Is that the Lord of the Rings? He goes, my precious. Is that what that's from?
Gollum.
I'll defer to you on that. They look at draft picks that way because that can make or break a career for a general manager. My precious, my draft pick. The other thing is the money crunching. The other thing is allocating dollars. And I've seen my fair share. I don't like to swear on this show, but I'll do it right here. I've seen my fair share of shit contracts come through here. Guys that got overpaid in free agency. Can I tell you a quick story about a guy?
Yeah.
I don't even care. Bring him on the show.
Is it over Dwayne Bowe?
Nope. Back in the day, Ryan, the Browns went out and addressed their defensive line situation with a guy named Randy Starks. Randy came from the Miami Dolphins. Came up to Berea. I want to see if I can find his contract that he signed with the Cleveland Browns. Randy Starks is his name. Okay, let me see here.
Randy Starks signed a 2-year, $6.5 million contract with the Browns.
It's not that crazy.
$3 million guaranteed.
The whole reason I'm bringing it up is this. In my prior stop, we were out in Berea doing shows, and we interviewed Randy Starks. He came up to us. I was working with Riz and Gerard. They had morning practices at that time. I think it was with Pettin. And he admitted to us that he doesn't practice hard. And the whole point that he was trying to make was he was a veteran guy and he knew when he needed to practice and, kind of preserving the body. But the look on Gerard's face when a free agent guy that the Browns sided said, I don't really practice that hard. And that tells you maybe about the culture of where we were at. But that always stuck to me. Just so many bad contracts that had come through here. For guys that didn't have production, but just stole money. No bigger than Mike Holmgren. That's a whole other story for another day. But this is one of what he has meant to this town for what he's already done. I need this to happen. I need this to happen.
Nick Chubb, dude, he's literally the Dark Knight. What is it? He's not the hero that we deserve, but he's the hero that we need.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. That is.
I can't
100%.
tell you how many sleepless nights the Browns have caused me, and just my one solace is Nicholas Jamal Chubb. I can't tell you how many times he's just made me so happy to see him on the field.
Some of the best plays that we have seen over the past 5 years have been him. The runs, Jim with the Chubba Wubba hub, the amazing plays that he has when he's tackled. He has no right picking up the yardage that he does. He's elite. He's so good. But then when you factor in the personal side of it, what he means to this town is the bigger part of this. And I trust the Browns, and I believe that the Browns are going to do the right thing here. I do. I think that. But I just wanted this morning to start with that, and I wanted to send this poll out because I wanted to get back to the Browns. Again, Reflog's been sending this out. People will riot if they do this. Again, this is about us. This is about us, the fan base. And I'm asking for just this one. I won't ask about it other stuff. This is just the one thing. I don't want to get crazy with it and start demanding other things. Just this one. And I do believe that they're going to get that done. So I want to start with it this morning. We'll update that as we go on. Reflog, retweet. I appreciate it. Drop us a follow at Matt Fontana Show. We are up there. Excuse me. Just getting over, when you get over it, but it's still I'm not sick anymore, but it's still just in there. Yeah. All right, we're back. We're loaded up. Here we go. Over to ESPN we go. Matt Bowen. His top 50 free agents entering the NFL offseason. Number 1, Chris Jones. Number 2, Josh Allen. Not that one, the other one. Kirk Cousins. Justin Matabuke. Christian Wilkins. Brian Burns. T. Higgins. Jalen Johnson. Winfield. Snead. Baker. Mike Evans. Michael Pittman. Ryan in the top 50. Not a single Cleveland Brown best fit. So Zadarius Smith was on this list at number 50. So the other thing about Matt Bowen was he put his best fit for every single player. He didn't put the Browns for anybody.
But that, you could flip that on its head and say, just speaks about where the Browns are at right now.
Yeah, cap situation. So you want to run through some of our top named guys to see where he's got him going? T. Higgins, best fit, Cincinnati Bengals, to go back there. Mike Evans, best fit? Oh, God.
Baltimore?
The Carolina Panthers, to follow Dave Canales there.
Yeah, Mike Evans.
My ass.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Go for his career to die in Carolina. That
Baker
makes sense.
Mayfield, best fit, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Michael Pittman, best fit, Indianapolis Colts. A guy that we have not talked a lot about, but I have said I would love for this guy to come here. Calvin Ridley, best fit to go back to Jacksonville. That's a name I'd keep an eye on.
I'd bark for Calvin.
Speaking of bark, Saquon Barkley, best fit, Houston Texans.
Yeah, that'd be disgusting.
That'd be something there. Your guy, Marquise Hollywood Brown, best fit, Tennessee Titans. See if I can find somebody else on here for it. I think that's pretty much everybody. Oh, Derrick Henry, best fit, Baltimore. That's catching a lot of steam all of a sudden now, too. I mean, they need a back. Gotta help
Henry does. That wouldn't really scare me, Matt, if I'm being completely honest with you.
You think he's cooked?
I don't think he's cooked. I don't think he's going to move the needle like he would have a couple of years ago.
You know, it's interesting to bring that up about Tennessee, too, about where we're at with Nick Chubb. We are in a position, like, okay, if the Browns were in the position that the Tennessee Titans were, and you are tearing it down, we're having a much different conversation. We are having a much different conversation. And you look at Derrick Henry to Tennessee, it is very similar to Nick Chubb to the Browns. The difference is that we can have this conversation because the Browns are good. If they were in full teardown rebuild mode, yeah, I would say trade everybody away. At that point, we're not there. So that's also another thing that affords us this conversation is that the Browns are good. That's a positive thing to be had this morning. We're not, you got to overhaul things time to time anyway, but you're not in the situation that Tennessee is in, and they're going to let Derrick Henry walk. He says Zadarius Smith should go to the Saints. That's fine.
Just get him out of this town.
I take, again, my offseason saying, I'd take him for the right price.
Take him
for the right price. I didn't know if I wanted to do this. Do you want me to read what this Matt guy wrote about cutting Nick Chubb?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, he put this as number one because he knew it'd get us all riled up.
Clown post.
You know it. I would say it's clown. Like, I think he's got other ones that make a lot of sense and all that. But there's a reason he put the Cleveland Browns at number one. There's a reason he put Nick Chubb one, because this is what was going to happen. He writes, Chubb made 4 straight Pro Bowls before suffering a knee injury. At 28 and fresh off his second major knee surgery of his playing career, he carries a cap hit of $15.8 million, third highest among running backs. And the Browns, who project nearly $20 million over the cap, could certainly use $11.8 million in savings that they would gain by cutting Chubb. He should return to play elsewhere, but barring a major contract restructure, I don't think it'll be in Cleveland. He is missing the whole point of restructuring other players. And yes, I believe that there will be a restructure for Nick Chubb. Now, this could go hand in hand with how they view Deshaun Watson. With all of this and how it's playing out, we've discussed the Browns will send some sort of signal on how they feel about Deshaun Watson based on what they do with his restructure this offseason. And a quick swipe of the pen of restructuring Watson, yes, ties you up with more money, ties him here longer, but makes this Nick Chubb debate moot. There's no point. Why make 4 or 5 different restructure moves to equal the same amount? You can do it just one. Just do that with Watson. And, I'm holding out hope that Watson is the guy. But if you needed to restructure him to help keep Nick Chubb here, I'd also make that move. I would do that.
Absolutely.
Like in that sacrifice, so to speak, of thinking that Watson's going to be here. I know the salary cap, people get so constrained with it, and they get so afraid with it. You can mess with it. You can play with it. And if you got to take a cut somewhere else, if you got to sacrifice a couple $1 million for a linebacker and a couple $1 million for some defensive tackle to make that work, you do it. You do it. People get so wrapped up, the Browns are $20 million over the cap. It's a movable cap. It's movable on what you restructure and what you can do. And I'm not saying that Andrew Berry's job is easy. And then he's got a lot of moves this offseason they got to do. But a priority's got to be Nick Chubb. You want to get an update on our poll this morning, Ryan? Where's it at?
It is a hefty 509 votes. It's 88-12.
I thought it'd be more.
Dude, it's trolls.
I guess. It's got to be something on the
Steelers
trolls.
fans.
It's got to be. Reflog again this morning, he goes, he just turned 28. The knee injury thing is scary. The money, the running back position I'm bucking all of these trends.
Nick Chubb's made out of vibranium. He's chilling.
He's good. He's good. And do you know the pain if they let him go and he rushed for 1,300 yards somewhere else? And you'd sit there and you'd be saying, damn it.
He would, bro. He would.
And this is not a shot at Jerome Ford or anybody else. You don't have anybody else
Nick Chubb on one leg is better than half the backs in the league.
That's what I'm saying.
And I truthfully believe
what I'm saying. You know what I want him to do more than anything is come back this season and probably in the second game against the Steelers, truck the living hell out of Minkah Fitzpatrick and walk over his ass into the end zone for a touchdown.
On some Ty Lue AI shit.
I would turn around, take the unsportsmanlike and the fine, and I would just flip him the bird. I'd truck him, wipe my manhood over his face mask, walk into the end zone, turn around, and just F off, man. That's what I do. I want to see that so bad from Nick Chubb. So I need him here. I need to have that happen. I got people, I called Minkah a dirty player when he did that. Oh, you've never seen that before? He's never been called that before. Watch that play. Watch it, okay? Watch it and tell me he isn't. All right, let's catch our first break of the morning. We got to talk college football expansion. If you're an Ohio State fan out there, you got bad news yesterday. You did. And I'm going to tell you why when we return. I do think the format is a little fluky. And there is a major problem that I don't know college football realized when they came out with this rule about the 5 and the 7. 5 conference champions, 7 at large. You restructure. We'll talk about the college football expansion next. And again, if you're an Ohio State fan, I don't think yesterday was good for you. I'll tell you why when we return. Tipico, folks. Stay away from the Cavs returning. We missed on our Jackets parlay.
What happened?
Chinnikov had 4 shots. That wasn't the problem.
So the Blue Jackets like that ass?
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Damn.
They're pretty bad. They just fired their general manager. So we will continue on our Blue Jackets parlays. Got officially announced that they're going to have the Stadium Series. I'm excited for that. But, folks, we got basketball cooking. We got college basketball. I'm all into the NASCAR. Atlanta this weekend. Get signed up with our friends at Tipico. Download the app. Use the code Fontana100. Here's what you do. You deposit and bet $25 on whatever you want. You get $100 in bonus bets. Ryan, just as an exercise, you want to do a little flex parlay? You want to explain to people what the flex parlay is?
Yeah.
So college basketball, which we know the tournament that's coming, you can do this at Tipico. And I got to tell you, I don't know many other books. I'm not on really any other books, but I don't know too many other books that are doing this. So here's the thing. I'm going to go to college basketball. I'm going to clear out. I had a bet slip messing around this morning. So let's do this. I'm going to go to college basketball. Slate tonight. If I took Lehigh minus 2.5, I'll take UNC Greenboro minus 3.5. I'll take LaSalle to cover 5.5. I like Presbyterian. No, actually, I like Winthrop minus 9.5. I know nothing of any of these teams. I'll take St. John's minus 10.5. I've got a 5-leg parlay. I can now go down to, they've kind of recalled this, the imperfect parlay. And if I just want 4 of my 5 legs to hit, that's plus 365. Now, if I want all 5, that's plus 2557. So the odds obviously change. Ryan, how about this? I want just 3 of my 5 to hit tonight. That's minus 150. That's almost even money for 3 out of 5. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter which 3. You don't even have to pick the 3. This is the new flex imperfect parlay that they have on Tipico. This is where we're going to make some bread coming up for the NCAA tournament. I'm telling you, man, this is going to be awesome. Could you imagine us doing like 7-leg parlays and I only need 4 to hit?
I'm just saying.
For even money?
I've predicted the tournament champion the last 3 out of 4 years.
All right. Well, we're going to ride Ryan hot there when we get to Tipico. Download the app. Use the code Fontana100 when you sign up to get those bonus bets. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Talk college football expansion. I think it's bad for the team down in Columbus. I'll explain that next. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Big news to the college football landscape as we have the new playoff format. It's bad for the Buckeyes. Tell you why. Welcome back, Fontana Show, right here on Big Play. Vote yes on Nick Chubb. I feel like I'm a political ad. Vote yes for Nick Chubb as your running back for the Cleveland Browns.
Chubb
This message furnished by Big Play LLC. I probably shouldn't do that. This message furnished by Matt Fontana and friends here on the Matt Fontana Show on Big Play. Gotta do a long pause and smile.
Never run for office.
We want your dude. I don't want that job. I've had friends that have tried to run for. Nah, not for me. Not for me. College football playoff is kind of for me. Okay, I've gone back and forth on. I think the expansion is good.
Oh, we do have Steelers trolls. They're already commenting.
I told you. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that this was going to get to Steelers fans.
Bro.
Do you want to know the Steelers? You want to know what Steelers fans, one of their favorite things to do beyond rooting for their own team is trolling. Like, okay.
They're stinky. They're all stinky.
So part of the thing that I do for prepping for the show is I will go on Twitter, and you can go to the Explore button, and you scroll down. And one of the things that always pops up for me is the Cleveland Browns. And I see it, and I roll through, and I can't tell you how many times that it's some Steelers bullcrap account that they're just, oh, yeah, this guy sucks or anything like that. Like, no. That's not how this goes. So maybe you should focus on your own team and Mason Rudolph.
This dude, it's Joey Porter's Jr., but in his bio, he has hashtag let him know.
Okay, I do have friends that are Steelers fans, but also Cavs fans, but not like that.
That's gross,
Not like that. Not like that. I don't know what to tell you.
Go fund your own basketball team.
Yeah, how's your baseball team doing? Not great, right? Not great. We'll talk Guardians more. We got to get some more Guardians coming up. All right, college football playoff. Sorry, my hair's not done. I'm going to get a haircut. I got a wedding this weekend. My hair's all over the place. How is it? Look good?
Looks fine.
Good. Do we have hair and makeup here?
No.
Damn it. Okay. Here we are. College Football Playoff Committee announcing yesterday their new format for the 12-team playoff. So we always knew it was going to be 12. And I go back and forth to, is 12 too much? They want to give the buys. They want to give some sort of importance to the regular season. And now I actually think they've done a great job of making conference championships still relatively important. Where when it was 12, how many teams were like, all right, well, we'll just, we'll take a bye. We don't even want to go to the conference championship and we'll go play it out. Now the rule comes out of a 5 and 7. So the top 5 spots in the college football playoff must be held by a conference champion. SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, and what, that Pac-12 Mountain West thing? I don't know. I got to take on that in a second. Then they will be seeded 1 through 5 because the 5th team has to play. Top 4 get a bye of the highest ranking teams, and then you kind of scroll everybody else out. That works. I'm going to come from the angle as an Ohio State fan. Do you want to know why this expansion is bad? You had an amazing streak of making it. You didn't need 12. Now, I am a college football fan. This gives me more football. You're going to get the opening round in December. You're going to get the quarterfinals in January. Then you're going to get the semifinals the weekend that was the national championship. And the national championship is pushed back a week. The NFL does not like that. But if you're an Ohio State fan, like I am, you were making it almost every other year. You want to be Alabama and Georgia that made it almost every year, and that's kind of fun. The expansion, though, is actually bad for Ohio State. You had an amazing streak of going. Now, you didn't win it, and you got there and fell, but at least you were a part of it. You didn't need 12. Now, the comeback is, with 12, you have no excuse and no reason ever to miss. You have no reason to ever not make it. But now, you got to play an extra game to get there. You got to play your conference championship. You got to do all that kind of stuff. But I guess I just come from the standpoint, Ryan, that if you're a big Power 5, one of these big legacy programs, expansion is not good. That's an extra game you have to play. And I guess people would be locked in to this past season, right, where Ohio State would have made it. They would have been the 7 seed or the 9 seed or whatever. They would have certainly made it. And you would have, all right, well, at least I get to see more Ohio State. Maybe you have a chance. Maybe you can go win a national championship. Sure, I don't know. But I was kind of okay with the rate that they were making it. Now, the formatting is interesting because a lot of people are talking Notre Dame this morning. They better go join a conference to get all this. Here's the other interesting thing, Ryan. There's not going to be 5 Power 5 conferences anymore. I sit here telling you the ACC is not a Power 5 conference anymore. Well, Matt, you're such an idiot. Florida State, Clemson, that is in no world what Michigan, Ohio State, Georgia, even some of the old Pac-12 teams. Are you going to just walk the MAC schools in? Walk your MAC schools in. That's fine. Let's go Kent State. You are closer than we realize to having 3 major conferences in college football. That's it. You'll only have 3. So now that you've made this rule about the 5, I guess you could cut it back. Really what they should have done is just cut it to the 4. Make it that. The Big 10, the SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC. That's it. Those 4 conference champions get the top 4 seeds in whatever ordering you want to do it. And everybody else got to fight it out. Pac-12 is dead. Mountain West doesn't matter. Anybody else, you can file on in from 5 to 12. You can go ahead and file in the best way that you can. But I also think as we get closer to what the future of college football is going to be, and I've said the easy way I can describe it, you have the haves and the have-nots. And sometimes you'll get these programs like Washington, right? Came out of nowhere, had to rebuild it a little bit. Even Michigan was down for a long time. Come back, win the national championship, and here we are. You, me, and everybody know that's all that it's ever going to be. You could go ahead and throw me your Florida Atlantic, and they're going to get smoked. You, with even 4 teams, had teams getting destroyed in the semifinals, in the college football playoff. That's only going to get worse. Will we watch? Yeah, probably. I go back to a world. I wish the BCS was still around. The BCS was so perfect. I loved it. Ryan?
I'm not an Ohio State fan, so it didn't do me with service.
Wasn't even that. Did you not, for a chunk, for the entire run of the BCS, did you not get the best teams? There was one year that they had 3 undefeated teams. And I think it was Auburn that got left out. Here's my pitch. You bring the BCS back and keep the 12. I come back around on this. I think 12's too much. I think you should have done 8. But then you can't give those teams a bye, right? Like, I think here's what you really should have done, in my opinion. You should have done 6 and given the top 2 teams a bye. That's what they should have done. Now, the NCAA are just a bunch of greedy you-know-what. So why not double that up, more revenue? I get why they did it. I've kind of come around. I think 12 is too much. I think 12 is way too much. But you're going to get into the seating and the college football committee, and they got rid of it because they wanted the human input, and they wanted to make this. I go back to the BCS. I loved the BCS. I thought it was great. You got your best teams. You always got the best teams in the national championship. And I always laugh when people say, oh, we love parity. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't like seeing. Sorry, Ryan. You don't like seeing.
Hey.
You guys gave a fight.
Hey.
You did.
Hey.
That was fine.
I will end this stream right now.
You have the power to do that.
You say you're sorry. You say you're sorry.
You guys did give him a fight. I'll give you credit for that.
I will take zero slander. We earned that.
Ryan went to Cincinnati. I don't mean. Oh, I'm sorry. But like, we know some of the other teams that backdoored their way in.
I hope Michigan wins again next year.
Because you want to know what? Florida State would have made it in the BCS because it would not have factored in that Jordan Travis wasn't playing in that game. That's why they like the committee. I think it's bad. I think I feel this really strongly, that this is not going to last. Nothing in college it lasts anymore. And I think we're on the precipice. Within the next 2 years, college football will secede from the NCAA. They will become their own thing. You will have 2 different divisions. This is straight from Chip Kelly. Your Power of 5 and your Group of 5. And if you even want to hand out different championships, that's fine. Could you imagine this too? You know how much fun this would be? In the Group of 5, do it like they do in Divisions 2, 3, and 1AA. Bracket that. That'd be a lot of fun. Then you get your Boise States and your Kent States and your Northern Illinois to play that. And then for your Group of 5, because the Group of 5, say you created this world that just the top 50 teams, and maybe you add a little relegation action to that. Your top 50. Would you then not say 6 would be sufficient?
Yeah.
6 for the playoff? And I'm talking about the best of the best. Your 6, I don't know how we do the 50 teams. Like, Tulane would still probably feel like they deserve to make it. That's where it gets so dicey, man.
Hey, Tulane's not bad.
That's what I'm saying. Don't is actually better than Illinois.
They're better than
Indiana.
They're better than USC, bro. They beat them.
There you go. I don't know. I the one thing I can say unequivocally is I think 12 is too much. I think 12 is way too much. And they're going to try to seed this the right way. They still need to get this Pac-12 thing figured out. What are they doing there? You know, we get Oregon, we get UCLA, we get USC. I guess maybe we just need to let this season play out and then maybe make some tweaks. Because the other thing, they came out with this. Don't tell me there won't be tweaks. They're going to have some sort of change to this. This is not going to go perfect. They're going to have some change. I guess you got to see how it rolls out. Are you nervous about the future of college football? Or do you feel like they got it?
To be quite frank, yeah, that's what they say, right? To be quite frank. I was never that big into college football, like compared to my fandom for the NFL. To me, it just always seemed with these last decade, really, it just seems so broken. And there's been so many boring games that I've just watched that it seems like it doesn't seem like these two teams belong in the same league, man.
That's the issue. But then all of a sudden, it could change in a matter of a couple of years. A couple of years ago, I'd be like, Washington? What? You know? What? Wait, this game? Penn State? I saw that. I ran through it on ESPN this morning. They did the winners and the losers of this whole thing. Was it that or was it CBS? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was CBS. The winners and the losers. They said the winners were the ACC, because no matter what happens, they're going to have some team represent. Okay, fine. They said Penn State was a winner because they were always this like fringe team that always was close but never made it. Now they will. Again, do you think Penn State's going to beat Michigan? No. They said the conference championship game's a winner because I agree with that. That game, that's going to be a lot for getting a bye. I do think that's a good point of this. The losers, the number 12, are the Pac-12 holdouts. I mean, Oregon State, Washington, they've been screwed for a long time. The number 12 seed, because again, who you putting there? Tulane, Florida Atlantic. And that was it. That was the winners and losers this morning from CBS Sports. Then the money. Do you see the money that's getting thrown around for this thing now? And they're holding out for even more? I'm the average fan. I want to see good football. I want my team to go win national championships. It's just becoming harder. It's becoming a lot harder. Football, the NFL, again, dude, they got this on lock, man. It's so easy. Their scheduling is perfect. The divisions are perfect. Their playoff format, I frankly think, is perfect. The buys, the schedule, other than the international games, which I don't know if you have that in the morning update. I guess we are going to Brazil.
Wait, that's confirmed?
Not confirmed, but it's very strong that it's actually going to be week 1. So that's a good thing. The NFL is just so perfect. And I don't know why college football just can't go towards that model more. The problem is that they have a lot more schools. There's conferences. There's all that. Why don't you just cut it for what it is? Again, 32 teams in the NFL, right? Why don't you just take the top 50 in college and you say, this is our league. We are going to play a 12-game schedule, and every single week you get to see what you want to see. I can see every year Ohio State taking on an SEC team. You keep your legacy rivalries. Play Michigan every year, play Wisconsin every year, play Penn State every year. That's fine. But call it for what it is. Create this league. Create this playoff. I don't think this move, it's going to, I just mark my words. Maybe I should put this in timeout. I think within the next 2 years, this is going to change again. I think it's going to drastically change again within the next 2 years. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know the formatting. I don't know the teams, but I think it's going to be a big change. Back to our Twitter question this morning. We're trying to send this message to the Cleveland Browns about Nick Chubb. The question this morning, do you want to see Nick Chubb as a Brown for life? 87-12, yes. And again, David, no. Mr. Fusion, leave no doubt from Remember the Titans. Vegas dreaming. I don't get why this is a thing. Chubb isn't going anywhere.
He must be in Berea.
Maybe that's his burner account. Maybe that's it. It's Andrew Berry's burner account. We found it. Oh, I see the Joey Porter burner account. His handle is at Kenny Pickett _. Yeah. Good luck. You're going to have to change that.
I'll tell you everything you need to know.
You're going to have to change that. His last play as a Brome, it lost. It's not happening. He's coming back. They would love that nothing more than for him to leave. That's it. Good stuff. Jack, we got to get Jack Duffin on too. Jack tweeted this morning, Chubb is unlikely to remain on his $12.2 million deal with the Browns. Most likely outcome is a Conklin-like extension. 8.2 in guarantees and incentives at 4, and then easily allow him to earn it back if he's healthy. In order to negotiate a rework deal like this, cutting him 100% has to be on the table.
That's sobering.
Because, again, you're talking about him getting back to his 12.2. You're going to ask Nick Chubb to take a pay cut on guarantees. And even if you put those incentives in. Oh, my God. I was so confident that this was not going to be a thing until I read Jack's tweet right there. Browns have to have leverage because they're going to have to go to Nick Chubb and ask him to redo a deal, to redo his deal. He has 12.2. What can we do to change that? What can we do to change that? I do believe that Nick is going to understand where we're coming from in this too. It matters to him. There's no way that it doesn't. So when you have two sides that want to get something done, I'm going to have the faith and belief that they're going to find a way to get it done. But Jack's point is, the Browns can't play this game with millions of dollars on the line without having at least the option to go, dude, if you don't do this, we're going to have to let you go. Can I ask maybe a stupid question? Is $4 million really that big of a deal? To you, to me, that's a lot of money. I know it is. In the grand scheme of the NFL and the salary cap, is $4 million really that much? And that is kind of the essence of where I come this morning. I'm the fan where I say $4 million, don't worry about it. And that's why it's only for 1 year. It's $4 million for what? Like, if that's what gets hung up in this, and then I am talking extension down the road. If I want to talk about just this season, $4 million, what are you going to do with that money? Sign a backup linebacker? Get a special teamer in here? Come on. This isn't $40 million. It's $4 million. Again, just going off of what Jack is talking about here. They can't. That's nothing. That's pennies. Drop in the bucket for the Browns salary cap and for some of the money they got tied up. I ain't buying it. I'm buying it. We're going to be all right. All right, big play. Tonight, we got bonus time with Drennan. How was Josh and Maria's show last night?
It was very good. They had Denzel Ward's mother on, Nicole Ward, and his name's Philly Whedon. They're hosting the All-Star Fitness Expo.
Nice.
Right
I did see that.
Cleveland Brown Stadium.
I did see that. So great stuff with Josh and Maria. I saw Enter the Jungle there last night with James Rapine talking all Bengals, one of our newest shows. And then tonight, and also I saw Booby's World last night. I saw that we had two shows around the same time because Booby was on at the same time as Josh and Maria's show.
He was on the same time as Enter the Jungle.
Oh, that's what it was. Enter the Jungle. I saw two shows at the same time. Folks, the easiest thing to do is go to Big Play. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. All the shows have their own individual accounts that you can follow on all those different platforms as well. But just follow us at Big Play. All the shows, all the content that you want. And I'm very excited to announce our new thing coming up with Tipico. We have a little competition between the other shows. It's going to be us versus Reflog versus Josh Maria. You know how we've been doing. We've been doing pretty good.
I'm confident in us, man.
I really am. I feel really good about that. Big Plays where you need it, how you need it, when you need it, where you need it, how you want it. All right, here at Big Play. Check us out. Catch a break, come back. Morning update. We're going to get to Immaculate Grid in hour 2. We got more Browns to get to. Time up. Stay with us. Hour 2 is upon us. All right, let's dive on into it. The morning update, the stories you got to know. Take it away, young Ryan.
All right, Matt. Well, it feels like it's been an eternity since I've got to watch the Cleveland Cavaliers play basketball, but luckily for us, this is our last night that we have to wait. The Cavs are back in action tomorrow night at home against the Orlando Magic.
Then, the streak that the Cavs will go on. They have a 12-game in 18-day stretch coming up. And it might tell you a lot. Now, they're not the hardest teams in the world. You get a Wizards game mixed in there, but they're coming out of the gate hot and heavy here. And again, I think the important thing for me is, can they get Donovan Mitchell some rest? I feel like Donovan has just been going 1,000 miles an hour, having to pick up the slack when those guys were hurt, going to the All-Star game and all that. I know there's these new rules in the NBA, which are just stupid, but I need to get Donovan Mitchell some rest coming up here. And they'll fake an injury, and they'll say, okay, he's got an ankle, he's got a knee, whatever. I think you need to sit him down for a couple games, or at least just kind of maybe lessen some minutes, or just go blow some teams out in the first half, and then you can rest him in the second half. But also getting the minutes back up there for Mobley and Garland. Minute restrictions probably going to come off after the All-Star game, which is good. Seeing how the lineups go, how it plays out. But they're going to have this brutal stretch coming up, man. And it's going to, I think, tell you a lot about where we sit. I kind of want to do this poll question tomorrow, Ryan. Do you think the Cavs are going to stay in that 2 seed for the rest of the season? Now, the question is, they could go up or they could go down. So save that for a Thursday edition of the show. Tomorrow, we'll ask that as the Cavs get back in action tomorrow night.
Alrighty, well, we got some news about the college football playoff. We know that it got changed to 12 teams for next year, Matt, but they announced that they're doing a 5+7 model here where the Power 5 conference champions
there is no Power 5
reserve
anymore.
a first-round bye.
Do they know
while the
that?
other 7 are at
Did
large.
they sit down and understand that there is no more Power 5 and eventually we're much closer to a Power 3 soon? Did they understand that? I really don't think this is going to work. I think it's broken. They're going to have some changes, but dude, within 2 years, mark my words, that within 2 years of this season and after next season, there's going to be another change coming. What did the 4-team playoff, how long did that last? What, 2015?
10 years.
10 years?
2014 was the Buckeyes.
Okay. All right. So there's 10. But in the landscape that we have with NIL, the thing is, the dissolving of the conferences, I think, is what changes all of this. I don't think it's going to work. Call me a naysayer. They got all that money. I'm sure they'll get it figured out at some point. Wait till they launch their own streaming platform. Could you imagine that? That they say, piss off to ESPN and $8 billion. They go, we're just going to launch our own streaming platform. And every college football fan's got to pay $40 a month for, what would you pay? September? I don't know if you need September, but November, October. That's out of order. October, November, December, January. That's it. And all of us just had to pay $40 a month for the brand new NCAA. Why do they even call themselves NCAA football anymore? It's not. For the college football package. Maybe that's where we're going. We'll see.
Well, Matt, that would not surprise me in the slightest.
No, it would not.
Well, Matt, talking about that unfortunate event at the Kansas City parade, two people were charged with murder in the mass shooting. Lindell Mays of Raytown, Missouri, and Dominic Miller of Kansas City, man. And it seems so unfortunate that this stemmed from what I believe and I'm hearing was just a dispute between two gentlemen, and people got caught in the crossfire.
I mean, that is when you come back to a responsible gun owner. And I guess, again, it's to be able to say a positive thing is, well, this wasn't a terrorist attack or a mass shooting, but that's the world we live in. Responsible gun owners. I can tell you that those two people do not deserve to own guns, yet they did. What are the rules that we can put in place to keep the guns out of the irresponsible gun owners' hands? Kids should not have access to guns. People who should not know how to operate one or have a cool enough head. It all started allegedly, Ryan, somebody said they were looking at somebody. Somebody looked at somebody else's girlfriend or boyfriend, and that deserves somebody dying? That had nothing to do with it? Sending kids to the hospital because somebody looked at your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it was? This is what's got to happen. They have got to put these rules in place. You could say rules only do so much because, you know, there's illegal guns on the streets and all that. Those guys need to be, and I'm not saying they need to throw the book at them. And it's unfortunate that a lot of times these shootings, there is nobody to throw the book at, right? These guys, you don't get to get out of jail. It's not aggravated. I don't know what charge they'll get. Involuntary manslaughter. You killed a person because you got angry. and somebody that you weren't even angry at. So sad, man. This is terrible. We'll see. I mean, again, it was like just the news cycle of where it was first like 2 juveniles, but it actually wasn't them. It was these 2 other people. Gotta do something about this, man. We have to do something.
Alrighty, Matt. Well, not much news today, Matt, so I'm going to end it here. But this is kind of interesting to me. I want to get your thoughts on it.
Yes.
A study came out that said women outnumber men in South Korea's sports stadiums. Experts say it has to do with stadium safety and the influence of K-pop fan culture. They said about 55% in the sports stadiums are actually women.
Well, what sports is it? Soccer?
I think it's everything.
All of it? Baseball is obviously very big over there, too. Huh.
I got to imagine that's probably one of, if not the only country that has that statistic.
Probably, and I think in today's, obviously the Taylor Swift impact, but it's so interesting, like Browns fans. Yeah, I guess it skews males. I know a lot, like most Clevelanders are fans, whether they're men or women, and there are men that are not sports fans out there too. That's like for the football when it comes to Taylor Swift, that was always their big thing. Like, hey man, how can we get the female demographic in here? There are advertisers that want to spend money for the female demographic, and certainly they know they have the male demographic and all that. I do think that, as crazy as it might sound, that I think sports betting has a little to do with it. I know females at sports bet now, and they're more interested in the games because of it. So, more eyes to it. I think that's a pretty interesting one as well. All right, Ryan, you want to get to it? Let's do it.
Yeah, we ready?
Day 2 of our Immaculate Grid. Let's get to it. It's our new segment here on the show. So this is what we're going to do. Every day, Ryan and I are going to do an Immaculate Grid. We are going to experiment with doing basketball and baseball. Football was fine yesterday. Here's how the scoring will go. If Ryan and I, who are on the same team, get the whole grid, we get a point. Any unopened grid, the fans out there get a point. You got one yesterday on football. I have a little fear on basketball.
Which was a fluke.
It was. Basketball, we'll see.
We'll be good.
So we're going to try basketball today to see how it goes. And maybe we'll do baseball tomorrow. But if we get smoked, we might have to just stay. All right, fine. So we're here in basketball. Here's how Immaculate Grid works. You see it there on the screen. You have to make the 2 axes, whatever, match up. So we need somebody that played for the Heat and the Mavericks. I need somebody that played for the Clippers and the Wizards. And then was that 500-plus career assists, correct?
5,000 career assists.
Yeah, 500 would not be very much. 5,000 career assists for that. Now, the fun part of this game is, Ryan, that player just needed to play for that team at some point. They didn't need to get 5,000 assists with the Heat, the Clippers, or the Thunder, right? They just have to get it at some point in their career and played for that team.
Right.
That's where we're at. So do you want to start with the 5,000 assists? Because I've got a few guys that I think we could throw out.
Yeah,
here.
I think that's probably the way to go. Kind of like how we did the all-team pros last time.
So for 5,000 assists, I would have to believe that James Harden, either one for the Clippers or the Thunder, he's got to have 5,000 assists at this point of his career.
I would imagine so.
Now, can I throw you Chris Paul to use him up as the Clippers player?
Yeah.
And then keep James Harden for the Thunder?
Yeah.
Can I interest you in that?
Yeah.
Ryan types it in. Here we go. So let's start. Chris Paul, that is a no question and any answer. And I'm assuming that will not give us a high rarity score.
That's all right.
But that's okay. Throw James Harden in for the Thunder. Okay. The Miami Heat might as well use up D Wade here.
He's got to have 5,000.
He's got to have 5,000 assists. How could he not?
Right?
I mean, who else would it be? Like, I don't know, like Goran Dragic, because he's a guard, like kind of pop. I'm trying to think of point guards that played for them. Did Mike Bibby play for the Miami Heat?
I have no idea.
All right, hold that, because he might have also played for the Dallas Mavericks, too. Mike Bibby, legendary Sacramento King.
Dwayne Wade has to have
Go, Dwayne Wade. Go, Dwayne Wade. Fill that on in.
Oh, I think it's
you spelled his name. The Y is before the A. There it is. Dwayne Wade. All right. Row 1 is done. Congratulations. Now we get into the team aspect of this.
This is where it gets fun.
Any jumping out immediately from any of these teams, any of these players? Wizards. John Wall didn't play for any of those.
He played for the Clippers.
Oh, he did? That's right. Okay, go John Wall.
Good pull.
Good pull. Rarity score has got to be not high on. That was the percentage on John Wall.
28. That's
okay. That's not too bad. All right. Okay. All right. You want to keep rolling Wizards here. Wizards Thunder connection. Oh man, this is gonna be a tough one for us.
I'm trying to think of like the
legacy.
Yeah.
Like Gilbert Arenas. I don't think he played there with the Thunder. Who was the other guy that was there with John Wall? Everybody thought that these two guys were going to be the two guys.
Bradley Beal.
But
he's only played. He's on the Suns now.
And he stuck it out in Washington for a long time. What about a big man? Can we think of a big man that's played?
Alex Len, Marcin Gortat.
Okay, Gortat, I know played for the Mavericks at some point.
I know he played for the Wizards.
Yeah, but that's not a combo that we need. Huh. Wizards. I got a bad feeling about this.
The Wizards want. I'm trying to
The Wizards are gonna foul us up here a little bit.
Did Daniel Gallinari play for? No, I don't know if he played for the Wizards.
I think he played. Did he not play for the Heat though?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And Shaq didn't play for the Mavericks or the
All right, let's go to the Dallas Mavericks. Okay. Okay, Kyrie doesn't count for any of that. Jason Kidd doesn't work for any of those. I'm trying to think of legacy Mavericks players.
Wait, where did Christian Wood get traded?
Houston. I don't know. He played in Dallas, did he not?
That, yeah.
But I don't think he played anywhere else. I don't think he's gone anywhere.
Probably
else.
Screaming at us.
I know. That's the whole point of doing this. There's nothing with Russell Westbrook on either one of those for the Thunder. The Thunder is going to be so hard too because I can't think of a lot of really good Thunder players.
Kendrick Perkins, who was their other big man when they had Russ and KD?
I don't know. Yeah, Kendrick Perkins was tough. Is it cheating if I pull up rosters?
I think so.
Okay, damn it. We might not be able to do basketball. I don't know.
We just got to think for a minute.
I know, we're thinking a lot here.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Sean Marion went around the league, but I don't think he played for the Heat, Clippers, or Thunder.
No, Suns. Suns Mavs, I think, was a really good one with Sean Marion. Good pull on him.
Who was on the Thunder's team when they went to the finals?
That's my issue. Is you only think of the big three guys.
Thabo Cephalosha?
Thabo played for the Mavericks. I'm pretty sure that Thabo Cephalosha played for the Mavericks.
Did he play for the Thunder, or am I tripping?
That sounds good to me. It sounds good to me.
Can we just send it?
Try.
Oh,
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We got to figure it out. Good luck spelling Thabo. Did you pull up?
Oh, no, I'm worried.
I don't know, man. We got to do something here. No.
Jason Kidd.
No.
Who was with Dirk? Jared Mayo? Did he play for the Heat?
No, I always picture him in a Grizzlies uniform. It's my big. I know. I want to go. I'm trying to go back to all-star, or not even all-stars, but NBA drafts and who went where and stuff like that. I don't know, man.
Did Goran Dragic?
So Goran Dragic never played for either the Wizards or the Mavericks. He was a Suns guy. He was in Miami. He went all around like that.
Kelly Oubre? No, he was on the...
No. Kelly Olynyk doesn't work for any of these. Well, he was in Miami.
He was in Miami.
Is he not in Dallas now?
Wait, he's somewhere now.
Oh, no, he's in Toronto. He went up to Toronto because he's from there. That's right.
Wow, this is hard.
I'm trying to think of other we just need a pool of players. We need to start pulling players. that work. Think of guys that came like Mike Miller. Did Mike Miller ever play? He was in Miami. James Jones, did he ever play for either one of those squads? I don't think so.
Mario Chalmers?
See, that I don't think so. I don't know.
Wow.
Norris Cole.
Norris Cole.
Yeah, that's,
wow,
a pull right there. Norris Cole with either one of those squads.
Who is the one dude on the freaking Thunder that I can't think of? Those KD, Russ, Perk, and who was the other one? There was another big man.
Can I pull that roster up? I think I need to. All right, here we go. The 2011-2012 Oklahoma City Thunder lost in the NBA Finals to the Heat. Nick Collison, Durant, Derek Fisher, Harden, Serge Ibaka is who you're thinking of.
Serge Ibaka, that was it.
Serge Ibaka. Yeah, Kendrick Perkins, Thabo Cephalosha.
Where did Steven Adams just get traded? Didn't he just get traded?
Yeah, but I don't know where. I don't know. This is tough. We might have to keep it to football. I mean, Derek Fisher, I feel like, should fill in a lot of this stuff.
Should we just flip it to the football one for today?
You want to flip it to football?
I
want to finish this out to see what the other ones would be. But, yeah, man.
This is pathetic.
I'm looking at Derek Fisher right now. And he would not have qualified for either one of these. Oh, no. He would have played for Oklahoma City and Dallas. He did both of them. Derek Fisher. Now we're just cheating to finish it out here. Derek Fisher would have worked.
Like who? Okay, Chris Paul was on it. Was there? They had Blake Griffin. They had.
Oh, Blake Griffin would have been a good one, but he didn't play in Dallas.
Or the Wizards.
Wizards. I'm trying to look up like the Wizards' all-time leading scorers to see if that plays out at all.
I can't think of anybody that played for the Wizards.
Historical statistics.
Otto Porter, where did he play?
Yeah, I mean that'd be. And again, this goes back to legacy of a time that we,
Lonzo Mourning, where did he play? I know he played with the Heat.
Wes Unseld, Elvin Hayes, guys like that. Bradley Beal, Brendan Haywood. That's a good pull. Brendan Haywood actually works for the Clippers. I think Brendan Haywood works for the Mavericks and the Clippers. I know he played for the Mavericks. He works for Dallas.
Oh, it didn't work.
No, he works for Dallas and Washington is what it is, and we don't need that one. Sorry.
All
right, go to football. Go to football. I guess we got to stick with it. All right, here we go.
This one's going to be good.
All right, okay. What's the other one on the right?
Oh, only one team.
So anybody that finished their career with the Commanders, the Raiders, and the 49ers. You want to start with that?
Yeah, let's
Played their whole career. Patrick Willis.
Do they have to be retired?
I don't think so, but I guess you're right. You could put you could put Nick Bosa on that. You want to try
like
Bosa and see? Okay, that works.
Okay.
So, Raiders, Josh Jacobs. And the Commanders go Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry. Okay. Terry. Okay. San Francisco.
Did Nick Mullins play for the Jets?
I don't think so. Honestly, one that I thought of was Tashawn Gibson. Remember the former Brown?
For the Jets and Niners?
No, for the Jets Jags. I think he played in Jags.
We don't need Jets Jags.
Or, I'm sorry, 49ers Jags. He's on the 49ers right now.
I got one I know for a fact that was 49ers and Jags.
Who?
This is a pool. Carlos Hyde.
Yeah. You're right. Good call. Carlos Hyde. That'll probably help our rarity score a little bit on this too. Carlos Hyde, good pull. 49ers Jets. I don't know. Let's skip that one for now. Commanders Jets. Commanders Jags. Trying to go back to a okay. We don't need 49ers Washington because like Vernon Davis would be a good pull there. I'm in on the running backs. I think there's got to be a running back. Oh, Jets 49ers. Frank Gore. Okay, there's that. Jags Commanders.
Jags Commanders.
Brandon Sheriff?
That'd
yes.
Be a crazy pool.
I think that's good on Jags Commanders. The guard. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Did I spell it wrong?
Last name is SCH.
Oh. Brandon Sheriff?
Yeah, Sheriff. Yeah, Sheriff.
Nice.
Thank you for on that. Pulling the guard there. All right. Commanders Jets. I'm thinking Jets. I don't know why I thought Antonio Cromartie. Did he play for the Raiders? No.
I don't know.
No, I don't think he did. No. No, not
Raiders, Jags.
Raiders Jags would be another interesting one too. I know Raiders. I keep thinking like Rich Gannon, but I don't think he played anywhere else. CJ Beathard.
Did Darren McFadden play anywhere else?
No, I don't think so. I don't know why I thought of Reggie Bush. Because he played with the Raiders, right? But he didn't play anywhere else. There's got to be other, like, legacy kind of guys, too. Jets.
Did Logan Wilson play for?
No. I'm trying to think.
Ryan Kerrigan?
No, I think he finished it out in Washington. I don't think he played anywhere else. I'm trying to think, like, D tackles, running backs, linebackers. Man, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Wide receivers. I think we just need to get really good on some like one position. Yeah. Quarterbacks. Fitzpatrick doesn't count for the Jets and the Commanders, does he?
Did he play for the Commanders?
I don't think so. I don't know. He's the cheat code in this. So we always throw him in there.
Was Blake Bortles ever on the Raiders?
No. No, that's a good pull, though.
Blaine Gabbert?
Blaine Gabbert, no. I don't think so. Because, again, they've had to have played in a regular season game. Oh, man. Tight ends? I can't think of any of those either. It should be like running backs. There should be a lot of running backs that get traded and get moved around all the time. Curtis Martin, legendary guy.
No, not JD McKissick. Why is this one so difficult?
I know, this one's a hard one today. Really hard one today.
Because like I don't know anybody from Washington.
I mean,
like who are their quarterbacks?
Look, I'm just trying to think. I mean, Rex Grossman, but I don't think he played for the Jets. I could be wrong. Mark Sanchez didn't play for the Raiders, did he?
I don't
know. I don't think. Yeah, it's like there's got to be some like backup quarterbacks that are run through. You can't click something where it just gives you answers, right? Like we give up.
We'd have to give up. What the hell?
This one's really hard. We're spending way too much time on this one.
I know. It should not be this difficult.
All right. We need to focus on one. Let's focus on one. You want to focus on the Jets and the Washington Commanders? I'm just going to rattle off like a bunch of Jets players. Nick Mangold never went and played anywhere else. Lavernius Coles, I think, played for the Washington.
I've never even heard that dude.
You've never heard of Lavernius Coles?
No.
I'm going to search it just to check.
Is that cheating, though?
I'm not going to. All right, here's how you spell his name. Lavera. Lev. Okay, Lavernius Coles.
You said for Jets and Commanders?
Jets Commanders. I feel pretty confident in that one.
Wow, 8%. 2 more.
What a pull. What a pull.
All right, let's focus.
All right, we're back on the rail now. All right, let's focus Jets. Let's focus Jets.
Jets, Raiders.
Jets, Raiders. Jets, Raiders. Jets players. Secondary guys like Nnamdi Asomugha. Did he go to the Jets? I want to Google that so bad. I feel like no, because I'm thinking of Darrelle Revis and Antonio Cromartie. That's what I'm thinking of. Nnamdi Asomugha played for other teams. I think that might work there, though. I don't know. I think that might work. I can't even think of like any other Jets.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. They give us a hard team.
Jets. 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 I mean, we should probably think of Raiders players is what we should do because then it applies for both. So, Legacy or just Raider. Kenny Stabler I don't think played anywhere else. I don't know. Devontae Adams doesn't work. Foster Moreau does not work. Man, Raiders players.
Did Nick Mullins play for the Jets?
I'm down to try it if you are. I'm down to try it if you are.
He played for the Raiders.
We should really run through, like, quarterbacks are the one that I think would be good for this. I know that there's a quarterback we're missing. It's not Joe Flacco. He never played for the Raiders. I don't know. We're sold out, man.
We just try the Raiders Jags.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I can't really. I'm struggling here.
Paul Kruger.
No. Like
Joe Schobert.
No. Yeah, you're just coming up with all the former Browns players. I think we got to call it. It's almost time for time up.
I'm just going to try Nick Mullins.
All right, try Nick Mullins. No. I think we're staring down the barrel of 2, which I think for today is fine. I think that's fine. Jags.
I'm just going to put in a random letter and see the first name that pops up.
Try Nnamdi Asomugha.
Yeah, I don't know how to spell it.
I think it's N-N-A-M-D-I. N-N-A-M-D-I. Nnamdi Asomugha. No. That's all right. That's all right. Now we're going to Google it and break. We'll get it off. Can you click and see?
Yeah. It'll tell you. Possible answers. So
yes.
For Jets and Raiders. Ronnie Lott.
Okay. Yeah, I probably should have got that.
Josh McCown, we could have got.
Oh, yeah. He played for the Raiders?
Hard, man. Like, I don't really know any of these. Terrell Pryor.
That's a good one. This helps, so run through the list so we can start banking up some of these. We're going to get better at this.
And then this is Raiders Jags. Oh, Maurice Jones-Drew.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Glennon. Zay Jones. That was a tough one.
Okay.
Desmond Howard.
Oh, all right. So we got to get moved. All right. 3 points now to the listeners on our Immaculate Grid. We're just going to have to do football, I think, on the way out. We'll see how it goes. All right, coming back. We got to get into time up. Talk some more Browns coming up as well. Send you on your way. Stay with us. Big play right here. All right, let's head back in history. Tell you what we got here on the 21st of February. And 1 year ago today, the Browns fired Mike Prefer and announced that they, reportedly requested to interview Bubba Ventrone. They got rid of Joe Woods. They got rid of Mike Prefer. They've now gotten rid of Alex Van Pelt. I would put it this way. The two moves you made last year worked out pretty good. Jim Schwartz's defense was better than Joe Woods, and Bubba Ventrone's special teams much better than Mike Prefer's. You hope for the same when it comes to Ken Dorsey. And I know that sometimes the coordinators can be the fall guys for the head coach, but dude, at the end of the day, they got a job to do. And if their units aren't holding up their end of the bargain, you're going to move on. But I'm happy Bubba Ventrone is here. I think he's really good at that special teams role. I go back to 2018. Browns had 1-4 in the draft. And we had a mock draft from Albert Breer. Now, I bring this up because I love Albert. I think he's very good at his job. And he went around and spoke to executives to piece together what his mock draft was. He had the Browns taking Sam Darnold at 1 and Saquon Barkley at 4. He had Denzel Ward going 8 to the Chicago Bears and Baker Mayfield going 11 to the Miami Dolphins.
That didn't work out.
Granted, we have Denzel, so
I just meant his mock didn't work out.
Oh, no, I know. That's because we didn't have the chance to draft Saquon. I'm happy with Denzel Ward. I am, and probably in a better spot maybe than Saquon, because you would not have had Nick Chubb. See how that works out?
I agree.
Butterfly effect? That's how that goes. Darnold, I was so in. I thought it was Darnold. I thought to the nth degree.
I wanted Josh Allen.
I did like Josh Allen. My two picks were Sam Darnold or Josh Allen. Those are the two that I wanted. Darnold was a bust. Baker was not on my radar at all. This day, 1997, the digital board on Wheel of Fortune debuted. Prior when Vanna actually had to flip it, the digital board. This day, 1997. That's an important day. It's an unfortunate day. We bring it up for history. This day, 1965, Malcolm X was assassinated. I don't like doing those in time out, but when it's a big, important one like that, got to bring it up. This day, 1948, NASCAR was founded. You know what NASCAR stands for?
Jesus, Nash is it national?
National
Auto Street Car?
Stock
Car?
I think it's actually the National... I don't even know, actually. Because it's the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing. That's what it is. NASCAR. The whole reason, you know why they call it stock car? Because you were supposed to race cars that you could buy off the showroom floor. So like back in the day, they were racing a car that you would just go buy, put a roll cage in, and go out there and race it. That's the whole point of it being a stock car. This day, 1885, the Washington Monument was dedicated. You ever been to Washington?
I have.
Did you go on your trip in school?
I went twice. One was for the trip, and then one was when I was younger.
They canceled our trip because it was too close to 9/11. So we had to do an Ohio trip. And it was years after, I think that was like 03 that we were supposed to go, and they said it was still like, just the state of everything. So we did an Ohio trip instead, which was just bullcrap. But we didn't get to go to Washington because it was right after 9/11. Very happy birthday goes out to former Cleveland Brown. We got to remember him for our immaculate grid. Braylon Edwards celebrating a birthday. Former Indians outfielder Franklin Gutierrez.
Wow.
Basketball player Steve Francis. Kelsey Grammer. Frasier fame, which I saw Frasier is back, by the way. No original ideas in Hollywood anymore. Sophie Turner. Elliot Page. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jordan Peele. And the late great Mr. Alan Rickman. Watch Die Hard in honor of Mr. Alan Rickman. One movie for you today that came out this day, 2003. A friend... Look at this. There's a group of friends, and one of them buys a house really close to a college campus. And it leads to some shenanigans from this group of friends.
Is that like the Van Wilder thing?
No. Right era. A group of older friends. These guys are they're portrayed in this movie to be about my age, which makes me feel really old. They're around my age. Their friend moves into a house that's close to a college campus.
Oh, is it what year?
03. and it gets rezoned, so they have to start a fraternity in the house. You're my boy, Blue. Frank the Tank. Old school. Have you ever seen?
I was gonna say that, but for some reason I didn't think that was it. Dang it.
Old school. Old School came out this day, 2003. So there you go, our only movie for the day. Back into our Twitter question this morning. Do you think we got the message across? Do you think we got it to the people that needed it this morning?
I think we did.
87th updated. 88-12. Do you want Nick Chubb to be a Browns player for life? I think this stuff it's brought up by everybody else. It's brought up by so many other people that are trying to, I get it. Like, on the surface, it makes a lot of sense about why the Browns would release Nick Chubb and they need to save this money. I don't get that vibe from a lot of people in just even the fan base around. They'll re-sign him. They'll keep him around. As far as the long term goes, we'll have to see how that plays out. I saw this was interesting this morning. Courtney Cronin and Field Yates at ESPN. They put together a list of the trade offers for Justin Fields, potentially also the number 1 overall pick. And I wanted to run through it because, like, not that the Browns are involved and we know that crazy thing about, okay, going to get Justin Fields, all that kind of stuff. But it matters because if a team that is in the AFC, or even let alone the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I just got the notification from Bleacher Report, the Pats are exploring all options at quarterback for an upgrade. That includes using the 3rd overall pick or trading it. So if you have a high opinion of Justin Fields, like I do, I need to keep him away from the Patriots. I need to keep him away from the Steelers. Here are the offers that Courtney and Field come up with. We'll start. They discuss the important decision ahead and what they're going to do. Listen, I think they're taking Caleb Williams. This seems like it's where it's going to go. So the first package comes from the Washington Commanders for the 1st overall pick. So the Bears would go down to number 2. They would get a 2nd-round pick this year and a 1st-round pick next year. I would probably make that trade, but you're giving up Caleb Williams. The New England Patriots trade for number 1. They get a 3. They get number 3 this year. The 2nd-round pick, which is 34 this year, that's almost like a 1, and a 1 for next year. Patriots could go up and take Caleb Williams. Or the Atlanta Falcons, the 8th overall pick, a 1st and a 2nd next year, and a 1st and a 2nd in 2026. Of those 3 trades, Ryan, for the 1st overall pick, which one would you take? Again, Atlanta, 8, and then a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. New England, 3, a 2, and a 1. Or the Commanders, 2, 2, and 1. Which one would you take?
So tell me, I'm not taking the Falcons. What was the...
Okay. The Commanders was pick number 2 this year. You only go down 1 spot. You pick up number 40 this year and a 1st-round pick next year. Or the Patriots, you go down to 3. You get 34 this year and a 1 next year.
I would take the Patriots because then I can assume that and hope if the Commanders then take whoever, Jane Daniels, the other quarterback, then I can still get Marvin Harrison. And I still think, I like I've been saying, if I'm the Bears, I'm staying with Fields.
So now these are the trades for Justin Fields. So imagine the Bears say, nope, we're keeping 1. We're drafting Caleb Williams. We're going to keep the pick. We're trading away Justin Fields. Field Yates from the Pittsburgh Steelers, a 2 and a 4. A 2 and a 4 for Justin Fields. 51 overall and a 4th pick next year. Atlanta, 2nd round, number 43. The Raiders, a 3rd round pick and Hunter Renfrow. Of those ones, which would you do? A 3 and a Hunter Renfrow, a straight up 2 from Atlanta, or a 2 and a 4 from the Steelers?
Well, then, so I would obviously take the 2 and the 4 over just the 2, right? And then Hunter Renfrow
pick
moved the
51 versus 43. 8 different spots. Does that really matter? I don't know.
I'd probably take the 1 and the 2.
Yeah. Courtney Cronin, who covers the Bears, she writes this. When gathering reporting on potential trade offers for Fields 2 months ago, several sources around the league suggested something similar to the Pittsburgh package, a 2 and a 4 for Justin Fields. They don't have a second-round pick this year talking about the Bears. And then they asked the Bears' most likely decision. Courtney Cronin writes, the Bears have built great teams in the past that have lacked quarterback play that needed to get to the postseason. They know they need to get this position right. The Bears might love Fields' leadership and the flashes he has shown since the regime took over, but as one NFL general manager made it clear to her, the lack of clarity around whether Fields is the long-term option is all the clarity the Bears need. So they're taking Caleb Williams. So we need to start to operate that they're going to take Caleb Williams. Justin Fields is on the market. He's out there. And now I'm sitting here reading this that says the Pittsburgh one might actually be the right pick.
I called it a month ago.
Oh, boy. That's,
I forget who it was. It might have been T.O.
That's a tough one, man.
It might have been Terrell Owens. I can't remember. I have to go back and look. They said they knew. They are so confident that Steelers are going for Russell Wilson.
I mean, they could have, you believe. Here's the thing. I don't want them to do anything. I don't want them to get any quarterback. I want them to stay and sit there and ride it out with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
I don't want them to do any of that. So, on the off chance that they do get Russell Wilson and they fix him, I know, laugh. I get it. It's probably not true. It's probably not going to happen. But I don't want them to find any Steeler. Nothing. I don't know. You mentioned this to me earlier. You want to talk a little movies for a second?
Yeah.
So they're dropping Kang. Avengers are done, so they're done. Let's talk about movies for a second.
Which is cap, because in that tweet, it said that Marvel was already planning.
They were already planning it before, Jonathan.
No, you weren't.
Well, I think the interesting thing, if you're a comic book fan like we are here on the show, first off, you mentioned it to me earlier. Barry, what's his last name?
I pronounce it Keegan. I don't know.
Keoghan, whatever.
Yeah.
He's coming back as a Joker for the next Batman.
Matt, wait, I gotta ask you this.
Yes.
Have you seen? Have you seen Saltburn?
No.
Do you know about it?
No.
So it came out. It's with it came out a little bit ago, like a couple months ago on Amazon Prime. It's with Barry Keoghan.
Okay.
Do you know Jacob Elrodi?
No.
You've definitely.
I'm not up on anything. Yeah.
You know Rosamund Pike. You know her, Gone Girl.
Okay. Yeah.
Who else is in it? There's one more big one. I can't remember, but it's it has the 3 probably grossest scenes I've ever seen in a movie, and it became like a pop culture movie that everybody's talking about now. And if you ever just want to throw up, go watch that movie.
Okay, fair. I don't want to, so I'm going to stay away from that.
I'm going to tell you what scenes it is after the show.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate it. They're dropping him. Marvel is such in this weird time where they're trying to recreate the Avengers again, knowing that you'll never be able to do that again.
They just got to stop.
They need to reboot. Dude, do you know what I saw yesterday? They're making another Jurassic World. Another one. And shout out to John. He tweeted at me. We don't need another one. And he tweets at me, he goes, aren't you waiting for the next Batman movie? There are Batman characters. There are villains. If I'm going to sit down and watch another Jurassic Park movie, I only want to see a T-Rex. I don't even care about the Velociraptors anymore. Jurassic World was not bad. It was okay. The second one where they had to get him off the island is terrible.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, and the last one was one of the biggest piece of crap movies I've ever seen.
There's already 3 of them out?
Yeah. Dominion. So, in the new trilogy, have you seen the original trilogy?
I've only seen the first one.
Okay.
In that.
Probably for the best. Lost World, the second one, it's got a soft place in my heart. I love that movie. The third one's bad too. So then they rebooted the Chris Pratt trilogy. So the first one, you've seen that one, right?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I like where they went. They created the park that was supposed to be, and the dinosaurs get. Here's the thing. There's only so much you can do about dinosaurs getting out. Okay, if dinosaur got out, all hell breaks loose. Great. Then the second one, there's a volcano that's destroying the island, and they got to go rescue these dinosaurs. Horrible idea. And then, of course, in the third one, the idea is that dinosaurs have now integrated themselves into our lives. And we could be sitting here and somebody's going to walk in and they have a service triceratops with them instead of a service dog. That's horrible. So now they're making another one. Now, Gareth Edwards is supposed to be the director. He did that remake on Godzilla a couple years ago. Good flick. I like that movie. What the hell is he going to do with this? What the hell are they going to do with another Jurassic World? Ryan, the dinosaurs are going to escape again.
But would you be having this tone, Matt, if they were to make more Jaws?
Yes, I don't.
Yeah?
They made enough.
Okay.
They made enough.
Okay.
Stop messing with.
What was how did they have multiple Jaws? Like, what was the premise?
The shark kept coming back.
Oh, he didn't die?
No, he did. So, do you want to know one of the stupidest? Okay. Do you know about the movie The Jaws Revenge?
No.
So this is the last one. So the first one, a cinematic masterpiece, my favorite movie of all time. The second one is just like a perchance that another shark shows up. Okay, the whole thing about that, they felt like they needed to give the shark a scar, so he had a burn scar. Okay, third one is actually a fun watch because it's Jaws 3D. It's Jaws 3, but it's Jaws 3D in old school 80s 3D. It's got Dennis Quaid in it, and Jaws infiltrates SeaWorld.
Bruh, what?
Yeah, he gets into SeaWorld.
So what's the issue there? He's like eating the animals?
Yeah, eat the people. He's eating the people in the park.
Why don't they just leave the park?
Get out of the water, you would think, right?
Yeah.
But they got to get him out. So that one is just, then there's Jaws the Revenge. Do you know that Sir Michael Caine was in that movie?
I did not.
And they asked him why he did that movie. And the famous line is, it was so bad, but let me show you the house it built. He basically admitted he only did this for a paycheck. The line of the movie was, now it's personal. Now it's personal. The premise of the movie is that the shark swims from New England down to the Bahamas to follow Ellen Brody and her family and wreak havoc in the Bahamas.
So dumb.
It's horrible. You want to know the other funny thing? That movie was made, 15 years after the original. The original has better effects and a better shark and better cinematography, like all of it. We're 15 years later, just a giant steaming pile of crap.
Some of the new Marvel ones, like Thor: Love and Thunder, like they have horrible CGI. Like they were better 10 years ago.
Well, then the money that they put into it, I get. So like, there's a lot coming out because we're gonna have more Comic Cons coming out. There's gonna be more movies coming out, which I'm excited about. But yeah, they're remaking another Jurassic World, which is just insane to me. And then they're dropping Kang. They're doing all this. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun to see where it plays out. I'm excited for the next
I've
Batman.
lost all interest in Marvel.
Really? Marvel's in a weird spot. Marvel is 100% in a really weird spot right now. Because they were all in on Kang, which I think was going to work.
Yeah.
Then with the Jonathan Majors stuff. But like the Marvels, I could have told you that was going to take. I don't know why these studios don't call me. I'll fix everything for you. I will tell you what movies to make and not. Like, the thing is, they're trying to do these team-up movies again, and it doesn't work because you already had those. People are sick of them, so they're trying to create new characters, and it doesn't work.
For Fantastic Four, dude.
Well, did you see that they are reportedly sniffing around actors for that? Like, isn't Pedro Pascal in for Reed Richards?
I
think he is.
I have no idea.
Then I saw this morning that, oh, God, I can't remember his name. He's in 10 Things I Hate About You and The Santa Claus. David Crumstein, something like that. Supposedly, they asked him to play the Thing. And I don't know if he said yes or no. So this is starting to get leaked out. We need the Fantastic Four. Deadpool is supposed to be the one to fix everything this summer. So I'm excited for that to come out.
So is that like they're 100% putting that in the MCU?
Yes. It's the first one of Deadpool under Disney in the MCU.
Okay.
So that's why they have, Hugh Jackman back. But you're going to get Easter eggs. There's already something in one of the trailers about Secret Wars. Here's the thing. I'm all in for it, I guess. I'll watch it. I'll pay, especially when it comes to Batman. I'm in. I'll pay my good money.
Batman, yeah.
Yeah, that's no question. We're still 500 days away from it, but we'll see. We're not 500 days away from our next show. We'll be back tomorrow. Kaz back in action tomorrow. We'll get back to our Tipico boost as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Enjoy it. So tonight, we don't really have much for Tipico, unfortunately. Dive in, use the app, use the code Fontana100 when you sign up. We're back tomorrow. Drennan tonight?
Yep.
Bonus time with Bruce Drennan from an undisclosed location.
Yep.
Should I send another question in for him?
Sure.
Trying to think. Come up with a good question for him. It's the best club in his bag. Bruce is a big golfer. You know he's got one.
Yeah.
Send it. I'm not going to tweet it.
Yeah.
Ask him that for me.
Okay.
Say, Matt from West Park wants to know the best club in your bag. I'll be interested to see what he says. Appreciate everybody joining us this morning. Follow us at Matt Fontana Show. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's everywhere. It's where you need it, right here on Big Play. We'll join you for Thursday at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.